I want to be the best race car driver I can be, as well as, father and parent.
I don't know. I couldn't breathe for quite a while. And I finally started to kind of get my breath back, and then everything clicked for me.
This whole encounter has exposed so many shortcomings in Penske Entertainment's design, its rules, just how it treats itself. It is saddening to me.
Then I've known you guys for years. I did one of my first shows out there in L.A. with you. Mm-hmm. I really got stupid that night, remember? Can we start this interview now?
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios.
Driven by General Tire.
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Got to say this. Thank you, NASCAR, for making the open of this show as best as it can be. Because, darn it, as we were getting into programming this show, we were just hoping for something fantastic to end with the NASCAR race. And, of course, Sunday night it does. And it happens right in front of us. The closest finish of all time in the NASCAR Cup Series with Kyle Larson getting the win at Kansas. Buescher thought he had the win. His crew thought he had the win. Nope. You got to wait for that finish, that photo finish. And dang it, Kyle Larson with another win. And between the four of us, we were talking about, hey, man, the Kentucky Derby, we had a photo finish. And then Sunday, we had a photo finish with the Cup Series. So thank you, NASCAR, for helping write this show for the next couple of hours. Formula One was in Miami. Was I entertained? We'll get to that. John Force turned 75. Over the weekend, we'll settle in for some highlights with John Force over the last 24 years of Speed Freaks. Kyle Larson, as I said, he gets the win in Kansas. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. Levi Kitchen, who had his shoulders run over by another Supercross rider, gets back up in the bike and is now back in the hunt, tied for a championship for the Supercross 250 West Series. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. Will someone relieve me? I've been talking for the first 2 freaking minutes and I'm out of breath.
And because you've been talking excitedly, because literally the NASCAR race just ended and we are excited. I even had my news and notes all written of, he beats your favorite driver again. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope. That was an amazing finish. And I loved hearing Richie 5 minutes before we went on saying, take that, Kentucky Derby. And on Speed Freaks, at Speed Freaks on Twitter, he's got a great photo comparison. Go check it out. And tell us, what was the best finish? What did it for you?
Yeah, I did it between 3 different races. I did it between Sunday night at Kansas.
Okay.
I did it between Kentucky Derby on Saturday, the 150th Kentucky Derby, and I did it with the 3 wide finish from Atlanta earlier this year that won by Daniel Suarez, excuse me. So you can go at Speed Freaks on Twitter and you can let us know, or if you're watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, etc., which of those finishes was your favorite? It's very close in all 3.
Statman, I get this. Lando Norris with the win of Formula One in Miami. That was a great win. The first time he's ever reached the pinnacle there for Formula One. He's like the people's champion winner, however you want to phrase it. But the last time that you saw
is that Max Verstappen didn't win.
Yes, that's true.
Just like my favorite football team is anybody playing Denver. My favorite Formula One driver is anybody beating Max Verstappen.
So there you go.
But I was going to ask that, man. Listen, you've been following Formula One for a long time. When was the last time you saw a nose-to-nose finish like that in Formula One, my friend?
I don't know. It's probably happened, but I can't remember when it did or how or what for. But the races are a lot closer. See, you're just a guy that likes to diminish Formula One. Races are a lot closer than people believe.
Yeah. So Lando Norris won by, was it 7.5 seconds? Okay.
7.5 seconds. Yeah.
That's no 0.001 seconds.
Nope.
No, but most NASCAR races aren't .001 either. I've seen NASCAR races where only 7 cars were running at the finish. So
3 decades ago.
it doesn't matter, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Actually, 4 decades ago. Not even the 90s produced that.
So Freak Nation, again, NASCAR on some beyond a photo finish. They had to have all kinds of dissection to get out there to figure out who. No, okay, we saw it. Once we saw the replay in slow-mo, we saw that it was Kyle Larson who got the win. And you could tell Kyle Larson being a racer's racer, watching him and Buescher go door to door through turns 3 and 4 at Kansas, and Kyle Larson get that win.
Taking the outside.
That's a dude. You just like a Tony Stewart. When you win a race like that, how much a driver's driver, a racer's racer, when they win those type of races, what it means to them, Crasher, you could see it with the excitement with Kyle Larson. I think he actually got elevated from time to time talking about his race win.
Yeah, that was definitely one that was massively earned. And he knew it. He was playing with Buescher on the lower lines going into that, and then finally just said, I'm gonna go right behind him, and then boop, just kidding. Right out to that outside line. Buescher tried to squeeze him. Nope. And then it was on from there. Speaking of Tony Stewart, though, didn't Tony Stewart take a win this weekend at Cletus and Cars in Indianapolis? At Lucas Oil Raceway Park. I believe I saw Tony Stewart taking a win and Matty Gordon taking a win there. I'm sorry, they're not in my news and notes later. I just had to throw it out there since you brought up Smoke's name. We had a couple of Lucas Oil Series drag racing cars taking wins out there.
So the Kentucky Derby with a photo finish, NASCAR Cup Series with a photo finish. You had Formula One in Miami, and I was pretty
with an unexpected finish.
Yeah, and I was pretty freaking entertained.
Yeah.
About the first 10 laps or so, I thought, yep, I'm going to get out of here and go do what dads do and play with their daughter. Nope, I didn't do that. I kind of stuck around. And you know what those announcers remind me of with Formula One? They remind me of MRN and PRN, where it could be the most boring NASCAR Cup race in the history of mankind. But if you listen to the energy and excitement and inflection of their voices, you would think it's the last lap for 4 hours.
Yes.
Cup race. And the Formula One announcers did the same thing for me. They kept
Sky
me.
Sports.
Yeah, they kept me entertained.
Well, they were so interested in anybody but Verstappen winning, they even said, let's not jinx this till we get to the end. We don't want to put the announcer jinx on Lando Norris. So, and when one of them, said something, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I was going against. So, yeah, I think everybody has taken numbers to stand in the line to boo Verstappen.
Well, I don't know about Richard C. Suave. Richie, you being the residential that you are and the Formula One aficionado that you are, where you'll get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch the Chinese Portugal Grand Prix. You'll do it.
Quite like
Chinese
that.
Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Wait a minute. Were you cheering for Verstappen?
No, of course not. No, I was not. I really.
That we're getting ready to stop the whole show, and the Freak Nation comes to a halt till we got this straightened out.
I love Lando Norris, man. He's a great personality. He deserved the win. My favorite part of the entire thing was when he was going up towards the podium in the post-race area there, and they usually will go to celebrate with his team. And instead of going up and hugging the team beyond the barrier, Lando Norris, being the athlete he is, ran like he's in the Kentucky Derby and yeeted himself into his team, like stage dive over the 4 foot, 5 foot tall, little gate that was there stopping his team from seeing him. It was amazing. And he crowd surfed with his team, and it was great seeing him yeet himself into his team. He yeeted himself.
How do you spell that? Yeet.
Y-E-E-T.
Y-E-E-T?
Y-E-E-T. Yeet.
Wow, that's from the Millennial Dictionary?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and you can probably look it up in his book behind him there that he's got.
Check it out.
All right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me look it up.
Then they were bouncing them. They were like,
this is great TV and radio right now.
Absolutely.
This is fan-freaking-tastic.
Talking about Lando Norris crowd surfing.
English.
I think yeet should be the word of the show, because that's basically what happened with Kyle Larson and Chris Buescher. They were just yeeting themselves across the finish line.
No yeeting in here. Yahoo and yelping.
That's an old book, though.
Yeah.
That book is probably 10 years old.
Yeah.
So you need to update Managing Millennials for Dummies. Yeah. So what specifically does yeet mean?
It's hard to describe. I can't explain it. You just know it when you see it.
But it's something exciting. It's something pretty badass.
Yeah, enough. We're kicking the show off.
Yes, and we're using it with Kyle Larson and with Lando Norris. This is completely appropriate for the finishes and the unexpectedness and the close finish that we had in racing this weekend.
Yeet really is a word. You weren't pulling our leg here. It means slang word that functions broadly with the meaning to throw, but is especially used to emphasize forcefulness and a lack of concern for the thing being thrown. So when he throws himself into the crowd, he doesn't care what happens to himself. He just yeets himself into the crowd. There you go. Millennial to English. There you go. That's, from the Millennial to English website right here on the Freak Nation.
Zach Brown is the featured.
He's about to yeet the IndyCar
person out of the Formula One Grand Prix. Of course, he's tied in with McLaren. His driver goes out and wins, and no one's talking about the conspiracy theory, but we're talking about yeeting.
We are talking about yeeting. Yeah,
yeeting is the magic word of the day. We got to.
I need to yeet your break stat, man. We got to pay for some yeets. All right.
Oh no.
Kyle Larson.
Help.
Denny Hamlin. John Force. Damn. Yeets. We're all yeeting. Next. SpeedFreaks Pit, Lucas Oil Studios. That's greatness.
Just yeet. Yeet already.
Just where you yeet. All right.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAV TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAV TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
This freaking segment brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com and check out a line of products to keep your rides fat and happy. What about Lucas Oil Penetrating Oil? Rusted nuts you got on your car, you got on that back door fence of yours. It loosens up those rusted nuts and bolts, finding a way between the tiniest crevices between metal parts and lubricating them. Lucas Penetrating Oil, fortified with powerful corrosion inhibitors and wetting agents that ensure protection to parts exposed to the elements. Evaporation may be slow, leaving a tenacious film that fights water and corrosion. Tenacious film and Lucas Oil Penetrating Oil. Go to lucasoil.com for more information.
Yeet those bolts right off.
That's what that tagline ought to be. Yeet those bolts. Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes coming up in moments. Also, we're going to...
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Richie. Denny Hamlin stirring it up again last week. We'll hear from Denny Hamlin. But again, Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes. Go right ahead, Crasher.
It's May. It's May.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you haven't heard me screaming it on social media already, it's freaking May. Arguably, no, there is no arguing, the greatest motorsports month in the history of months.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Well, look what we started off with. I mean, can you argue with what we just had in the Miami Grand Prix and then the Kansas NASCAR race? No, you can't argue with this. Also coming up, we've got the Supercross season finale. We've got the Monster Jam World Finals. We've got, let's see, the Coca-Cola 600, the NASCAR All-Star Race. We have, of course, the Granddaddy Indy 500, and then Kyle Larson, who just started off his month of May with a win. He's going to try to culminate it with doing the double. So F1, let's start with their amazing weekend in Miami. Just so happened to not just be another star-studded event, but a weekend for the British. Abby Pulling amazingly sweeping the F1 Academy races, and then Lando Norris becoming the first driver other than Carlos Sainz to beat Max Verstappen since this very weekend last year. So way to go, Lando Norris. I almost said Max Verstappen. My favorite moment, though, was Lando thanking mom and dad on his cool down lap and also saying, this one's for grandma. So yeah, we've kind of alluded to it at the beginning, the top of this hour. Lando's the kind of guy you want to cheer for. So more wins for Lando, please. And thank you. Supercross raced the Denver Dirt at Mile High. And with the season winding down, points have become quite the premium. Let's just put it that way. Joe Shimoda needed a win to even keep his name slightly in the conversation. Joe Shimoda rode to a win. Levi Kitchen rebounding from that Nashville East-West craziness. Like Kenny said earlier, getting run over his shoulder and his neck. He needed something to salvage. He ended up second place. And now he is, RJ Hampshire, last spot on the podium. Levi Kitchen, RJ Hampshire are tied for the 250 points going into the season finale next weekend in Utah. You guys are in for one. So then history was made in the 450s as Jet Lawrence takes the win, and arguably Jet Lawrence is going to win the 450 championship as he's 20 points up. But this is the first time this ever happened in Supercross history. Brothers taking 1-2 on the night. Hunter Lawrence with second place in Denver. Saturday in Kansas City, Corey Heim led most of the NASCAR truck race, taking the lead at lap 70 and then cruising to the win, but it wasn't all easy. His truck was a beast. And then Sunday, Cup Series started with a weather delay, fairly clean racing for the first two stages, and then everything broke loose in stage 3, ending with a green-white checkered finish with Chris Buescher, just kidding, Kyle Larson, taking the win, 0.001. That's 1,000th of a second, the closest finish in NASCAR history. Yep, like I said, month of May, off to a mega start.
Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com. Find out more on how you can keep your rides fat and happy. We have social media accounts here at Freak Nation: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course the website, speedfreaks.tv. Levi Kitchen coming up in moments. Crasher was talking about him at gnarly accident in Memphis a couple of weeks ago. Nashville. There you go. Nashville gets up and rides to the finish line, still stays in the hunt. And then, of course, in Denver, now he's tied again for the points championship. Levi Kitchen will be here in the Freak Nation. But first, Richie, you put up on social media from Dirty Mo Media a portion of Denny Hamlin. No, this wasn't Denny Hamlin's podcast. This was Denny Hamlin talking to Dale Jr., right?
That's correct. If you haven't already, I recommend going to check out this past week's edition of the Dale Jr. Download. And Dale Jr. dives into the conversation regarding NASCAR and its charter agreement system that is going to expire at the end of the 2024 season that we really don't know much about in terms of the progress up until what you're about to hear from Denny Hamlin. We really haven't heard from the teams what they want, what they exactly want in these conversations. It's kind of at a standstill at this point in time, but Dale Jr. dove deep into it, and he had Denny Hamlin on, and this is the first time on the record that we heard from Denny Hamlin, who is an owner in 2311 Racing, a team owner on the record talking about what they would want in negotiations with NASCAR when it comes to this charter agreement, which is up at the end of the 2024 season.
Obviously, a correct sharing of the revenue is one that is big. Right now, there's 3 stakeholders in this sport: the tracks, the teams, and NASCAR. And to be quite honest, 2 of those stakeholders make 9-figure profits a year, and 1 stakeholder loses 7-figure profits per year. So there's clearly a disconnect, and I wish that the fans were more informed of how offset this deal is, and how unfair it is to the teams. But that's an issue. You've got, we've asked to have a sharing of any future revenue. So we're not going to dig in anyone's pockets from NASCAR from anything that they've made or established in the past. And it's, anything from this point forward, we've asked for, a third of that, and they've adamantly said no. And we've willing to give extra rights up to give that. They've said no.
My question is, why is that a hard ask for NASCAR and or the tracks and or both to accept? That does not seem outlandish to me for the team owners to be asking for this. He just laid it out pretty succinctly that NASCAR itself and the tracks combined make in the 9 figures yearly, whereas the teams are losing in the 1 million to 10 million range yearly. Even with sponsorships, they're losing millions. This is not a difficult ask. I wouldn't think. It's not outlandish. Is that their issue? What's the problem here? Why isn't NASCAR agreeing to this?
Well, I can only imagine that they're not agreeing to it because they don't want people looking into their books. They don't want accountants looking in there and seeing how much money they are making. I think if he wants to get more credibility, if he's going to throw 9 figures out there and losing, 7 figures, then he's got to put some specific numbers on it. He can't just throw, I could throw those numbers out there and nobody's going to know whether or not I'm right or wrong. But I think NASCAR's main problem is that they don't want scrutiny on the money they are making.
And just thought about this, listening to Denny Hamlin, him being a team owner, and of course drives for Joe Gibbs. I would assume, again, we know what assumptions can do, but I would assume that he's speaking for other team owners, whether it's Joe Gibbs. Don't get me into the whole Roger Penske conversation, but Trackhouse, because he's representing other team owners. Would any of you disagree with that?
No, not at all. I would imagine at the very least, the other Toyota teams, at the very least.
I mean, the one thing we do, sorry, Stephen, the one thing we do know about these negotiations that was reported most recently is that NASCAR is not talking to the negotiating committee for the Race Team Alliance anymore. NASCAR is talking straight to individual owners which if you're trying to negotiate any kind of a collective bargaining agreement, which is what we're talking about basically here, that's kind of wild, right? If you're talking to individual ownership groups instead of talking to the group as a whole, kind of a recipe for not a good outcome.
It's kind of shady.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other issue is that NASCAR is NASCAR, but they say there's three stakeholders. There's NASCAR, the tracks, and the teams. But NASCAR owns most of the tracks that they race on.
15 seconds.
A lot of cases, they're making money on two sides of the coin.
And that's what Denny was alluding to. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why he was saying 9 figures.
I like what Statman said about once you open up the books, holy smokes, that's a different animal. Freak Nation, Levi Kitchen running for championship in the 250 West Series, Supercross Series. Damn near died on the track in freaking Memphis or Nashville. Nashville. He joins us next. SpeedFreaks Spits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to WWTRaceway.com now.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included with the activation of a Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Requires in-store activation. Device offer ends 6/9/24. Taxes and fees apply.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, back in the Freak Nation. Levi Kitchen running the 250 West Supercross Series, again running for championship, as he eats his chicken here in the Freak Nation. And after what happened to Nashville, my friend, I would imagine that you're happy to be able to reach down and grab a fork and put that chicken in your mouth, right?
Most definitely. Yeah, that was a little bit of a bummer deal, but I'm all good. I've been eating a lot of chicken to heal up, so yeah, I'm just eating more of it now.
Hold on a second. Okay, you had a really serious crash in Nashville. For people who might not be aware, your shoulders and your neck, Max Anstey, a competitor, rode over your shoulders and your neck in this accident, yet you managed to get up and finish this race in Nashville. Absolutely mind-blowing. Yet you say, yeah, that was just a little bit of a bummer deal.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty fortunate to be okay from that one, obviously. I was sore, but surprisingly where Max ran me over wasn't really what hurt. Just my ribs hurt from the initial crash. So, yeah, I mean, the main reason I went in the hospital and stuff after was just because I was coughing up blood, and I was kind of nervous, like something internally might have been damaged. So went to the hospital after, but everything checked out okay. Just had a couple of ribs out of place, but yeah, took a little bit of a break, and then now we're back at Denver, and we're feeling good.
Thank goodness you had that break. Would you have felt comfortable? I mean, the doctors probably would have cleared you, but would you have felt comfortable enough yourself going on had you needed to that very next weekend?
I would have definitely been sore, but yeah, I could have raced for sure. Just probably would have taped it up, and I don't know. It honestly, it's when you ride, I feel like stuff doesn't bother you as bad sometimes just with the adrenaline. So, yeah, I'd say the most painful thing was just getting up out of bed, honestly.
Levi Kitchen joining us here in the Freak Nation, running for a championship, the 250 West Supercross Series. And you talk about the adrenaline on a bike. You've had your share of accidents, and yeah, you don't feel it maybe till that next morning or until you get off your bike. What was the emotion at that time in Nashville? Was I got to get back up on my bike to at least try and gather as many points as I can, or were you kind of delusional at the time?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, when I hit the ground, honestly thought it was over right there. Like the thoughts that were going through my mind were pretty bad, but I don't know. I couldn't breathe for quite a while, and I finally started to kind of get my breath back, and then everything clicked for me. You know, I was like, I'm not really just racing for a certain position tonight, I guess. I was like, man, I'm still in a championship, and, you know, I want to win this thing really bad. So I got up, was able to make some time back and salvage some points. You know, going back, I wish I could have got up quicker, but I couldn't breathe at all. I thought I was done for the night. So to get up and finish was good. Obviously, it helped a lot. So now we're only 2 points down, and yeah.
Hey, Levi, what's interesting about Supercross or motocross, but both of them for me over the last few decades is the communication that you have with your crew chief or those in the pits is much different than what we've got, whether it's drag racing, NASCAR, or IndyCar. And when something like that happens, what's the best way to communicate with that dude over there with the pit board, or do you just go about your own business?
Yeah, there is no communication. You know, we don't have any mics in the helmet or anything, so it's really up to them to just decide what they think we need to see. And yeah, I would assume the team was pretty much walking back, honestly, after I crashed, because they probably thought I was done. So I don't know. I came around and my mechanic Matty just did the pit board said fight or something like that, or I don't even remember. But yeah, and then at that point I just tried to make up as much time as I could, and yeah, I salvaged, I think, like a 14th or something.
It's truly incredible. And I've seen, and everybody's right, all the comments on social media, that was your championship run. what you did there. I mean, there's going to be a movie made about it eventually. It was just shocking and amazing all at once. But how do you feel now? We are 2 weeks since then, and now things are different. You're hopefully feeling physically a little better. Mentally, I would assume you are just ready to get back out there again.
I was super upset after it happened. You know, things can change really quick. I had a really big points lead, and then it was gone just like that. So, you know, the emotions were pretty high, and I was pretty angry at everything. But at the end of the day, it's racing, and I had to tell myself, you know, there's plenty more racing in my career. You know, I plan on racing for many more years. So, yeah, it's just growing pains, and it's learning, and, you know, some things you just can't control. And going back, you know, like, I couldn't control that I crashed, but I'm a little bit mad at myself because I could have controlled, you know, maybe other things like my heat race, you know, put me in a bad position for a gate pick for the main, and then I got a bad start in the main, and I haven't started bad all year. So the one time I start bad, I'm involved in a crash like that. So I was bummed at myself, but, you know, that's the past, and now I'm just focused on these next few races and trying to get back what I had, you know, before Nashville.
I would imagine you are definitely overly hungrier maybe than ever for finishing out this season, because yeah, as we stand where we talk right now, you're only 2 points out.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like, I don't know. I mean, I want to win this thing pretty bad, obviously, and you know, that's why I guess I finished that race like I did, and I don't want it to. I didn't want it to end like that, so it's still not over, and you know, it's going to be a battle till the end for sure.
Hey, Levi, have you heard from other veteran riders or riders that aren't in the series anymore about with some pep talks and maybe how to recover from something like this, given the fact that you were right there at the edge of a championship?
No, actually, that's a good question. I haven't really spoken to anybody about that, you know, kind of stuff. But everybody that I do talk to that's in my corner, I mean, they just tell me keep doing what you were doing. You know, that was a freak mistake and crash or whatever, and everything before that was going great for me. So just gotta keep my head on straight and do the same thing that I was doing before, and may the best man win at the end of the day.
Are you a fan of the combos, the 250 East and West races?
Yeah, I was more of a fan until Nashville. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I think it's good. I mean, we definitely need those in there. I think it would be, I don't know. I feel like it'd be a little bit better if maybe the points worked a little differently. Like, we still raced all those people just to see where we stack up, but then say like a East guy won and a West guy got second, really that West guy still gets max points for his coast. If they could somehow like figure out how to do it that way, I think would be kind of cool. But then again, it would hurt people in certain circumstances. So I don't know. I think it's good that they do it, but yeah. Or they could just do them all like that, just not even have an East or a West, and just make the 250s race each other the whole year.
Well, love him or hate him, when you have Deegan in there, he punches tickets. And to see you go against Deegan every weekend would be pretty badass. And again, like I say, there are people out there that don't like Deegan. There are people that love Deegan and what he represents. That's part of why I enjoy watching the combination of the East and West, was I get to see all of you guys together.
So then, Kenny, answer his question. Would you want to see that every single weekend of the year and have the 250s run the same season?
I grew up
450s
watching
do?
that. 125s, that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it would be cool. I mean, Outdoors does it, so
Yep.
why not Supercross, you know? But it would be chaos for sure. There'd be a lot of guys, you know, there'd be a lot of factory bikes not making the main events, you know? Like, that would happen probably pretty often. So it gives a lot of privateers the chance to do well too. So it's kind of a I don't know. It kind of goes both ways, I guess.
Well, man, I know spending 10 minutes with the freaks, you could probably find 4 or 5 other better things to do, including eating your freaking chicken that's sitting right in front of your face, man, and you had to smell it the entire time. But your smile looks good. Your attitude looks good, man. It's good to get you back in the Freak Nation, and you're looking pretty healthy, man.
Yeah, thank you, and glad I got to come on here and chat it up with you guys. And now I'm going to devour the rest of my chicken, probably.
It's how we roll in the Freak Nation. Athletes get hungry. You can go and eat on the show. I may not like it, but dang it, you get your head run over by a 250 motorcycle, you can eat anything you like. Coming up next, your Statman Scat, and it's pretty unique. Chat GBT. What is it, Richie? Chat? What is it? Chat? Just tell me. Just talk to him. What is it? Chat GPT. Yes. Okay. Artificial intelligence and the IndyCar series. Leave it to Statman to come up with something about that. That's next. SpeedFreaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plan starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
The other day, I asked an AI site what IndyCar could do to get new fans. Some of it was obvious, like leverage social media platforms with behind-the-scenes access to interactive content, produce high-quality content that showcases driver and team personalities, target younger fans through partnership with schools and youth organizations, create opportunities for fans to interact with drivers, attend autograph sessions, and participate in fan festivals. Simplify the rules, terminology, and scoring system. Embrace diversity and inclusion by showcasing drivers from various backgrounds, cultures, and identities. Collaborate with other sports leagues, brands, and entertainment properties to cross-promote and reach new audiences. Build audiences in local communities by hosting races, fan events, and charity initiatives. They seem obvious, right? But several aren't being tried, to my knowledge. All don't need to be on Roger Penske's plate. The teams and drivers should be doing some of this expansion themselves. And several sound like Monster Jam promotions, which Kenny Sargent suggested last week. No deep pockets need apply. Peace.
Sorry. Want to hear it twice there, Statman. Your Statman Scat brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Go to generaltire.com. That's generaltire.com to find the tires for your ride. Spring is here. Summer's coming. Make sure you're rolling on a new set of tires from our friends at generaltire.com. Pretty creative, Statman, to dive into some artificial intelligence to ask about how to better promote a motorsports series when it comes to IndyCar. And typically when you dial up AI or what is it, ChatGPT, Suave?
Yes.
Okay, ChatGPT.
That's one of them. There's like 10 of them. But,
when you dial those up, it just takes seconds for them to spit it out. And was that the case for your AI experience?
Yeah, it was just a couple of seconds, if that. It kind of surprised me. I just did it as a lark to see what would happen because I'm trying to learn how to use it. And then all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, these are some good ideas. And I don't know if, a lot of them are simple, and not all of them need to be paid for by Roger Penske. Some of the teams ought to be doing some of this, but it's pretty obvious. I'd like the idea of working with kids and getting kids involved, going to schools and whatnot. So, yeah, I was surprised at how quick it responded and how relatively simple the ideas were.
I have a kid's story from this weekend. Our daughter, 10 years old, had her best friend over for the weekend, and she had been watching Drive to Survive over the last couple of years, became a Formula One fan, became a Max Verstappen fan because of Drive to Survive, but then asked me a question about 100 Days to Indy. She said, I just started watching that. She said, why do they just do up to the Indy 500? I want to watch it all year. She's like, I was surprised that she said that. And I'm thinking, oh my, do you want to have an application to do marketing for the series? Because that seemed so obvious, but I have heard that from nobody from the series. Even I didn't think about that. I'm like, 100 Days to Indy. Yeah, let's go up to the Indy 500. But then what are your young audiences from the CW supposed to do after that? You expect them to hang on to every word, every finish, every lap of the IndyCar series, but you got to give them a reason to. Why are they going to? You can't just expect them to.
Well, the IndyCar has to pay for that time, and they don't have the money to pay for it. And they're building up to their biggest event of the year. In fact, probably one of the only two events, that in Long Beach, that the people really watch. So yeah, I mean it's difficult to put any credibility behind it, but that's the issue when you don't have any money and you always want somebody to pay. You're going on short-term results as opposed to long-term build. Like many in American business, everything is this quarter. We'll worry about next quarter.
Not the way to do things.
Yeah, well, not a lot of people don't. They have a lot of success. Yeah, you're right.
We're talking about IndyCar, and again, we realize that IndyCar doesn't punch a whole lot of tickets for people. But again, with it being the month of May, and it's the Indy 500 coming up, tail end of May, Memorial Day weekend, that Sunday, it's a topic. It's a topic of conversation, and
they put themselves as a topic of conversation with the controversies the last couple of weeks as well.
We've got, I almost said Scott Pruitt. We've got Marshall Pruitt, a hell of an insider when it comes to the IndyCar series, joining us next hour with the latest from IndyCar and the whole Penske, Joseph Newgarden scandal and other things that we'll discuss with him. But getting back to what we're talking about in regards to children and kids, part of the series, and I understand children and kids follow their parents too. And I know that a lot of parents were watching Drive to Survive. I get that. But to see 7, 8-year-old kids wearing a Verstappen jersey, but to your point, it starts with the kids. It starts with children when it comes to growing those numbers. And it's not, it's a long-term goal. It's not short-term like you were talking about, Statman, when it comes to quarterly, what you were just talking about? Profits. It's long-term.
The quarterly return on investment, that's a major problem in American business. But if they could get together with school districts that are pouring millions from the government into science, technology, engineering, and math, I think that motorsports is a natural to teach kids about those things, STEM things. So get involved in their lives, and those kids are going to grow up, and those who don't have parents involved are going to be, hey, I want to go see that, and when they come to my town, I want to watch it on TV. And it boggles my mind that they don't do that. And every year, another segment of their audience falls off the back of the grandstand in age, and they got to replace them with young people.
I think this is a rhetorical question with Crasher. She was born and raised in Indianapolis. And I understand once May 1st rolls around, I've, again, being associated with you for the last 24 years, I get it. I understand what the town does. But does the series reach out to high schools and junior highs, at least within, to promote their series? Or did they back in the day?
Within the state, yes.
Right.
They're actually very good. Well, I don't know if you can necessarily credit the series as much as you can credit the track, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Yes. They reach out to elementary schools, middle schools, high schools throughout the state of Indiana. But that's where it ends. And if we're going to be talking about TV audiences like we have been since the Long Beach ratings came out, which were abysmal, you can't just go within the state lines of Indiana. Yes, it's a race that is huge for the Midwest and the state of Indiana in particular, but it is a worldwide audience. It still claims the world's largest sporting event. You can feasibly fit 400,000 people in that ginormous stadium that is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Do they do that many now? No, but you could squeeze that many butts in there if you really wanted to. So again, it's not just something that should stay with marketing in Indianapolis. And another thing that people have been bringing up recently, and I think this is also fascinating and goes along what we've been talking about, is why just market through the Indy 500 when it comes to just the series. There's a lot of that, whether it's the 100 Days to Indy docu-series, or if it's just all this marketing. You watch Long Beach, you watch Alabama, and it's promoting the Indy 500. Okay, fine. You have the vast majority of your season after the Indy 500, and that's a season that sponsors have paid for. You need to still figure out a better marketing plan for that. And that's not going on. So just doing things inside the walls of Indiana and just promoting things leading up to the Indy 500, this is falling flat. Differences need to happen. Changes need to happen.
And again, Marshall Pruitt will be joining us next hour with some additional insight to the IndyCar series and what Roger Penske is doing or not doing as the series owner, track owner for Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's just not a good look. And I don't want to spoil an interview with Marshall Pruitt next hour, but again, playing off of Statman went to artificial intelligence to learn how to better promote the IndyCar series. And frankly, most of the line items were spot on of what they needed to do, and they're not freaking doing.
And they're, can we say, not even considering doing most of those. They're considering doing a lot with digital, and they have increased in that realm, but all the others that were on that list.
Kyle Larson, Marshall Pruitt, IndyCar, Joseph Newgarden, Roger Penske. Big second hour coming up.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery.
FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
I want to be the best race car driver I can be, as well as, father and parent.
I don't know. I couldn't breathe for quite a while, and I finally started to kind of get my breath back, and then everything clicked for me.
This whole encounter has exposed so many shortcomings in Penske Entertainment's design, its rules, just how it treats itself. It is saddening to me.
Then I've known you guys for years. I did one of my first shows out there in L.A. with you. Mm-hmm. I really got stupid that night, remember? Can we start this interview now?
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio Redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, you know this. Sunday night was the closest finish in NASCAR history. And Crasher, what was the stat that you heard regarding the top 4 cars and the finish?
So from first to fourth, that time difference alone right there would have broken the record for the closest finish in Kansas Speedway history. Yet here we are with something that just takes all of NASCAR by storm.
Kyle Larson with another race win, again, with a big win in Kansas between him and Christopher Buescher, or Chris Buescher, as we call him in Texas. Chris Buescher, where it looked like Chris Buescher was going to pull off a win, the first win for Ford this year. Nope, didn't happen. Kyle Larson, bam, grabs the win by a nose. You had the Kentucky Derby with a photo finish, and you had this race with a photo finish. Richard C. Suave put it out there on Twitter. The favorite photo finish so far this year, Richie, between Atlanta and Kansas. What are we seeing for the latest results there, Skippy?
What I am seeing is that most people so far are going back to the Atlanta finish because it was 3 wide.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the 3 wide is what made the Atlanta finish. So I think that's kind of the overwhelming majority of people, what most people would say. But you can still go weigh in up on our Twitter feed at Speed Freaks.
I would like to say that I remember the Atlanta race. I do remember that finish. I can see the picture, but my goodness, I was about to comment Statman going, oh, yeah, because Atlanta was a better race than Kansas. I don't remember what the hell happened with my race to the store 2 weekends ago, Statman.
Yeah, the thing to remember about this is that the cars that are down low on the track, they have to ease up just a touch to keep the car in line, and the engines aren't revving as high in the power band because they're restricted by the tight turn of the corner. The cars that are higher on the track have a lot more momentum. They're in the power band. That's why the Sanchez, that's not his name.
Suarez. Yeah.
That's why Suarez won the race in Atlanta. He was on the outside. That's why Larson won the race Sunday. He was on the outside. And that's why the guy that cut down and lost control of the car because he was trying to block, Michael McDowell, he was trying to block. He lost the momentum from being on the outside and lost control of his car, crashed, and lost the race. It's, I don't want to say it's simple because a lot of people be doing it, but that's the point of being up high against the wall to stay in the power band of the car and have a chance to win.
Chastaining the wall. You just basically, you can't quite do that, but get as close as you can to doing that.
Are you guys like me? And again, I'm teeing this up, but when you hear Kansas, nothing excites me about that at all.
Right.
When you hear for the IndyCar series, when you hear Iowa, just doesn't excite me.
Right.
Granted, we had a hell of a finish in Kansas with the Cup race, and that third stage, the amount of yellows were significant, but just does nothing for me. Then, like Darlington, you hear Darlington, bam. You hear Martinsville, bam. Even to a degree, okay, Texas. Well, just because it's Texas, not because it's one of the better freaking races.
Hold on, because you are a Texan. You are a Dallas guy.
But right, Statman, when you hear Kansas, it doesn't get you all giddy, does it?
No, it doesn't turn me on, but there's a whole other issue there. But you're right. There's so much history around some of the other tracks like Darlington and Martinsville and the big tracks where they race. They have history. Daytona, even Texas. They have history there. Kansas is relatively new, although they have had a lot of close races at Kansas. And, that's that. But that happens in NASCAR. That was the whole point that Bill France Sr. wanted, was to come around the last turn and 4 cars with a chance to win. That was his goal in setting up the rules and setting up NASCAR in the first place.
Richard C. Suave, I'm going to put you on the spot, my friend.
Oh, let's go.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Our friend Jeff Gluck, who is a great NASCAR insider who writes for The Athletic, typically after the race will put out, was it a good race for Kansas? Is it too early? He typically puts that out shortly after the race, or does he put it out usually Monday morning?
I think he does it on Mondays.
Okay.
So I haven't seen it as of our live show here on Sunday night that he has put it out quite yet. If you're watching us on MAV TV, you can probably go vote in that poll.
Because that's Monday.
By now.
Because we talk about short-term memory, and again, it's going to be overwhelming that it was a great race, but my goodness, you kidding me? Those first 2 stages?
Oh, because you're talking about because of the recency bias of how that race finished. And arguably the entire third stage was better than the first 2 stages combined. So, yeah, recency bias will make people say, yes, this was a good race.
Statman, you can mark it. Mark the time slot right now. You ready for this?
All right, here we go. Yep.
Got it? But I was enthralled with the Formula One race.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeeted it right out there, didn't you?
I just put it out there for you. You can document it when it happened. That I said going into it. Hold on a second. Do you want to pull the full curtain back, Crash?
Yes.
The full curtain?
Yes.
Who left before me watching the race?
Me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The open wheel Bizaccio.
Yeah, it was probably lap 3, and I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Lap 3?
It was probably lap 3, yeah. Like,
The one thing I will say about this Miami race, I don't know if I watched it last year. I don't think I did. But the first race, the track was narrow, and this time the track was wider and the racing was better, and they had more places to pass.
Yep.
So yeah, they took some time and thought it out. Maybe they went to AI. Who knows?
Great. Well, Chris Medlin we've got Marshall Pruitt coming up in the show. Chris Medlin, who also writes some of his stuff for Racer Magazine, at Chris Medlin F1 on X. He had a great article out about how the powers that be at the Miami Grand Prix, they learned a lot over this last year from their first 2 runs of this race and have really been pushing themselves to make the product better, not just racing wise, but to question themselves. Are we reaching too much of an elitist audience, and how can we reach our core audience instead?
$180 for nachos will do that for you.
Yeah, that probably needs to change.
Better be some dang good cheese.
Oh,
what if they just squeeze the cheese? What if they just squeeze the cheese out?
Yeah. I tried 18 chips, $10 a piece. And here's another observation from your Formula One aficionado here, Freak Nation.
Oh, you?
I enjoyed the racing.
Okay.
Again, I think I'm just trying to convince myself I did. But and I find this from time to time. It doesn't at sporting events where the place just looks noisy to me. And what I mean by that is if you watch that race in Miami, that track just looks so freaking noisy to me with so much going on.
Yeah.
Colors and but contrast and crowds and different structures and the camera angles. It was a noisy race for me. I'm not saying it was bad.
Noisy meaning entertaining, though?
Just noisy. You compare Coda to Miami, and you look at the colors and the fake boats and the people and the prosthetic.
Don't repeat or don't finish that sentence. Or do, but we may get kicked off.
There's just a lot of I get it. It's Miami. It's South Beach. But
it's also a street course that's fenced in versus a natural terrain course that's got, all sorts of grounds and places for the noise to escape.
But again, I know Statman has it down in ink that I actually enjoyed the majority of that Formula One race. And I probably would enjoy more of them if they didn't happen at 3 or 4 o'clock in the freaking morning. Yes. And I had a 10-year-old that I need to be attentive come 6 a.m. typically Monday through Friday. And then, damn it, I'm going to sleep my butt in when it comes to Saturday and Sunday.
As long as she lets you.
It's okay. It's okay, Freak Nation. You cannot like a certain motorsport series, or you can rail against a certain motorsport. It's okay. We don't have to love every one of them. Again, the technology of Formula One cars is second to freaking none. It still blows me away when I watch them warming up their cars, getting the crumbs off the tires. It still looks like a freaking video game. You kidding me?
Crumbs.
I had to change it up.
Not a Marvel fan, are we?
No.
Okay.
Marshall Pruitt, he ain't happy with Roger Penske. That's next. SpeedFreaks Pit down the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Marshall Pruitt, Racer Magazine, ESPN, Road and Track, and again, your insider when it comes to all things open wheel, joining us here in the Freak Nation. With Joseph Newgarden and the repercussions of the push to pass issue that came out at Long Beach via St. Pete, have we heard the last of this? Are there other dominoes that are going to fall with Penske's teams and Joseph Newgarden?
I don't believe so, Kenny. And that angers me and it saddens me. Not a vindictive guy, not someone who wants to see more punishment for the sake of. What I want to see is Penske Entertainment, which owns IndyCar, Roger Penske's company, take this more seriously than they have. Couple things here. I'll try not to go too far off the deep end. Here's an idea. Of all the ways that a race car can be found to be illegal, to be cheating, the one that scares me the most, and I think most people the most, is when you get into the software and electronic side. I think we all understand if there's a rule that says your A-arm must be like this, or a wing element must be shaped like that. If a team goes out and tries to make one that's a little different, that can do things a little bit better, I think we get that. That's something you can check by hand. They have templates that say, oh, that profile doesn't fit. That's blatantly wrong. Get those off the car. When we're talking software, when we're talking wiring and electronics and these little nerdy boxes that so few of us ever get to interact with, that to me is the scary part, right? What are you doing? That's not a put the template on the car, fits, doesn't fit. This is one of those, we need to do a deep dive. The fact that there was a morning warm-up on Sunday at Long Beach that ended at 9:30 a.m. Cars were on grid 3 hours later. There was no notification to the other teams that Team Penske had been found cheating. The owner of the series, whose cars were found cheating, that knowing this is in this kind of scary, what else could be in there type software irregularities and whatnot. The fact that these cars were allowed to compete 3 hours after they were found to be running illegally in morning warm-up, how are those cars not thrown into a locked transporter and taken back to Indianapolis? Well, here's an answer, because IndyCar isn't like NASCAR. They don't have their R&D center where anything that doesn't look right, doesn't sound right, whatever, gets impounded, sent off, and properly inspected. How could cars running illegally 3 hours before the race be allowed to not only compete in that race, but none of the paddock be informed about this? How is it, here's again, overarching thing, if Rick Hendrick owned NASCAR and competed in NASCAR, you would think there'd be some pretty strong wording, rules, and policies put in place, safeguards. What's the one team that could not ever be caught running illegally with that kind of crazy conflict of interest? Team owned by the guy who owns the entire series. If Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, owned the NFL and had a team and was caught with Deflategate or something else, you would have to believe the other team owners would either put in place safeguards, or there would be, from the top down, safeguards put in place to make sure such a thing never happened again. You would also think there would be some sort of policy that says, we'll use IndyCar, there are 10 full-time teams. One of those is Team Penske, owned by the person who owns the whole series. If those other 9 teams get caught cheating, whatever it might be, IndyCar, the president, Jay Fry, his whole technical inspection team, I think those other 9 teams fall right into the domain of IndyCar's top cop, top referee inspecting those vehicles. What's the one team that you should never ask? The people whose paychecks are signed by the guy who owns the series to inspect your boss, to investigate your boss. Why was there and is there no policy in place that says, in the crazy chance this were to happen, even though it can't, in order to protect the integrity of the sport, if this were to happen with the guy who owns the series, whose team competes in the series, and that team gets caught running illegally, this gets booted out of IndyCar's hands. We bring in external investigators. We bring in a law firm. We bring in all kinds of folks. One thing we won't do is ask our own employees to try and become detectives on their boss. It's unfair. None of those things exist. And so you go, okay, let's just kind of move on and go to the next race. This to me, and there are some other things we can explore as well in another day, but very long story short, this whole process, this whole encounter has exposed so many shortcomings in Penske Entertainment's design, its rules, just how it treats itself. It is saddening to me, but it comes back to one key thing. If we're talking about the NFL, where the commissioner owned the series and had a team running, playing, and they got caught, you got billionaires surrounding them with a lot of voting power written into their regulations. If this was Formula One, let's say Liberty Media, which owns Formula One, also owned Red Bull, and Liberty Media's team got caught cheating. Those other teams have a ton of power and influence to bring Liberty Media and that team under heel. There are no such things in place at IndyCar.
That's exactly
the other team owners have
yeah.
no power to correct or affect any of this, other than, say, refusing to put their cars on track in protest, and then they damage themselves and their sponsor. I mean, that's the disturbing thing here. There's nobody that can force Penske Entertainment to do anything differently than they so choose.
So how does that change moving forward? Who is going to be the one to implement better rules and regulations so this doesn't happen again? And so the series, Penske Entertainment themselves, doesn't have egg on their face yet again, or let's say, get away with it.
I'm wondering the same thing, Gladys. I have been wondering the same thing, because they're working on this charter system, right? That's supposed to get launched here in the next couple of weeks. And that's going to give team owners a little bit of say and a little bit of commerce ability. It gives them no power or rights. It doesn't allow them to make changes or demand changes to be made. I mean, the couple of things I think need to happen here, and none of them, I believe 0 of them, will happen. Roger Penske needs to either sell the series, sell the team, or sell 51% of the series to the other team owners. So that, in a crazy scenario like this, the folks who put 24 of the 27 full-time cars on the grid do have a mechanism to say, nope, that's not standing. We're not doing it this way anymore, whatever it might be. As it is right now, if we're thinking about voting, those 9 out of the 10 team owners have no votes of any consequence that can change anything. So to answer your question, I would hope Team Penske would lobby their boss. I hope the other owners would lobby Roger Penske, would lobby the executive level, Penske Entertainment, to say, hi, we see how this has failed us and how this has embarrassed us. Would you agree you all need to rewrite some of the ways that you do things for the betterment of the sport? Because this couldn't happen the first time due to the conflicts of interest and all the questions it would raise, but it has happened. What are we going to do if it happens a second time? And it will happen. It just, by the numbers, give us however many years, every team's going to have some sort of problem at some point in time. It's going to happen again at some point in time. Will they do anything to improve their business structure, how they react to things, kicking things out of IndyCar's hands to an external investigator and so on? Will they do any of those things to show folks that they are true and serious about being 100% correct at all times? Or is this just going to be if we don't talk about it, hopefully folks will forget?
When you have a guy like Marshall Pruitt coming in and dropping bombs like that, Freak Nation, you just go with it and you let him roll. You don't cut off a guy like Marshall Pruitt because he's just, again, the insight that he has, that we could do a full show with the guy. We're going to have a two-parter coming up, the second part coming up next. And actually the full interview we're going to put up on our website, our YouTube page. It's about a good 40, 45 minutes, but we're hitting some highlights. Marshall Pruitt, your insider when it comes to IndyCar, sports car. But this guy, again, knows it and knows what he says and how he says it and when to say it regarding IndyCar. So part 2 with Marshall Pruitt and his IndyCar insight. Next, SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
We resume our conversation with IndyCar insider Marshall Pruitt. You can read his stuff from Racer Magazine, Road and Track, and ESPN. More with Marshall Pruitt now. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Marshall Pruitt's the ultimate insider in American open wheel and sports cars. I went on AI this week and just put in how can IndyCar increase its audience. Got some very interesting responses. Several of them had nothing to do with the series. They had things to do with the teams and the drivers. Do they hold any responsibility for building up the audience in IndyCar so that everything is not on Roger Penske's plate?
If I start a restaurant tomorrow, Bill, and I put my name on it, Pruitt Entertainment, it's a great new restaurant to go to. It's all kinds of fun.
Can't wait.
Who ultimately is in charge of making sure that folks know about my restaurant, hear about its attributes, given a reason to come, given a reason to partake and hopefully enrich me and have that business grow? It's me, right? I put my dang name on it. Even better, because this would be more accurate, Roger Penske chose to buy the IndyCar Series and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Choice. Teams certainly need to be a partner in this and helping the series, no question. They have weekly meetings between the series and teams, marketing meetings to talk about who's doing what, new ideas, etc. So teams in general are certainly trying to do their part, some better than others. Just watched an amazing Game 7 earlier today, NBA getting through the first round of the playoffs with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Orlando Magic, two smaller market teams. You have the same in IndyCar. You have some smaller teams who don't have as many huge stars that folks are going to gravitate towards. They don't have as much money necessarily or staff to go and hire waves of marketing and promotions experts and do as good a job as a bigger team. I realize the Lakers are out, but a Lakers, a Knicks, and so on, where you go, okay, everybody knows them. They are truly world famous. So you do have teams. You do have Arrow McLaren, for example. They are the unrivaled winners when it comes to helping IndyCar promote. They have the most popular driver in Pato Award. They have a lot of great things going on there. Andretti Global do a wonderful job. Chip Ganassi Racing has been doing more and more and really stepping up there. Even some of the smaller teams, Juncos Hollinger Racing, they're doing their darndest. Myers Shank, I do not question or doubt the team's efforts, like many of the smaller mid-sized franchises in major sports, to try and grow and build bigger fan base for themselves and the league they play in. But ultimately, the NFL does a pretty amazing job of letting the world know it exists, and it's amazing. You look at IndyCar, what has been the thing all four of us have known to be a major flaw for decades, predating Roger Penske's purchase? That is marketing and promotions. It is the independent, the little indie band we love that we go and see at the bar down the street. And oh, they're amazing. If only the world could see them, they'd fall in love with them too. And you go, once upon a time they were huge, but again, now they're kind of playing bars and local dives. And We've seen what IndyCar was like when it was a raging monster, when NASCAR was firmly second place in the country's hearts in terms of motor racing. This, though, is a problem that extends decades in the rearview mirror. So I don't place all the blame. An idiot would say Roger Penske is to blame. No, not at all. He is only the latest person to acquire the series and take the responsibility for such things.
Hold on, could I interject this real quick? He is the latest one to take on this responsibility, but I think when he did purchase the series, the track, the TV rights, people thought, oh, this is the guy with the resources. Not saying that he had to spend 100% of his pocketbook, but at least that he would come in with business resources, financial resources, and other resources to be able to make the necessary marketing and leadership changes. Yet that hasn't happened. And I guess that's what's the most puzzling to me and possibly others.
We allowed ourselves a flight of fancy to believe that indeed all of these magical things would happen with one of America's great success stories in Roger Penske. The thing we've learned or acknowledged, maybe come back to reality on, is this. Tell me about the TV commercial you saw to rent one of Roger Penske's moving trucks. I haven't seen them. They don't exist. Tell me about the commercial for the other things, the great marketing campaign, the print ad, the web ad. That is not how Roger has, by and large, built his business empire. I realize that he's a massive auto dealer, and those dealers, again, they do tons of marketing and promotions, as we would think. But if you think of the core competencies here, the big flashy ideas, the shiny objects that are going to get people to look at a racing series, great inventive ideas. Roger Penske, we will be writing books about him, about his business to business acumen, right? One of the great leaders of the businesses doing business with other businesses. That has nothing to do with marketing and promotions. That's all up in the hospitality suite. That is getting CEOs talking to CEOs, big business being done from that, profiting from that, funding a racing team. We hoped that with all this, there would be a massive bringing of skills, or to your point, Gladys, hiring of marketing experts throughout the globe to help get us there. And they have hired some people. They've added more staff. They have, of the folks who are there, especially on the digital promotion side, they have some phenomenal people. Just if you look at any of their rivals, size of the departments are vastly different. The funding committed vastly different. So even in the really positive areas where Penske Entertainment has made progress in marketing and promotions, it's still, compared to a NASCAR or a monolith like Formula One, drops in the bucket. So I can't blame IndyCar for being a smaller and less financially prosperous series. They're working with what they have. But at the same time, I bet Roger's going to invest $10 million of his own into new marketing and promotion side. He's not the guy to dig deep into his bank account just for the sake of. So it is a catch-22 and has been for many years, where we know how successful he is. We naturally associated grand success to follow with IndyCar. We've seen the car counts go up. That's been big, right? So there's been growth in the paddock, more cars. That's been fairly stable as well. The Indy Lights, now called Indy NXT series, which came along with the purchase, that was hovering at single-digit entries. It's now 20-ish or so. There are team owners who are clearly believing and buying into Roger and what he's doing and saying, we're going to commit more money, more cars and whatnot to the racing series that you own. But then we see the TV ratings for Barber Motorsports Park last weekend are down 100,000+ people year to year. The previous race at Long Beach was down 700,000 people from 2023 because in 23 it was on NBC. This year it was on USA Network, viewed by far fewer people. We see these rises in attendance where I believe every points paying race we've been at this year, every promoter said, hey, we're up. Might not be double digit, but I mean, we're up. It's great. And so you see more people on site, but the TV numbers don't necessarily match. So there's this weird fluctuating thing where you cannot say everything Penske's doing is winning or everything Penske's doing is a failure. You cannot claim either side as being a linear fact. But what you can say is, boy, it just seems like we're on this constant roller coaster of, hey, this positive, oh, what are we going to get kicked in the behind on next? And so we get hit with something else. Hey, a new team from Italy, one of the biggest junior open wheel teams in the world in Prema is coming next year. It's phenomenal. It's awesome. And then we get the news about the Long Beach rating. And then, and then we got a cheating scandal. But hey, then Georgina falls off of the bridge at Barber, and we get the greatest motor racing meme in a long time. Like, you're constantly just, your head is snapping back and forth saying, what the hell's going on?
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Do the Wendy.
Hi, my name is Wallace.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to WWTRaceway.com now.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098.
That's 800-879-4098.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
The other day, I asked an AI site what IndyCar could do to get new fans. Some of it was obvious, like leverage social media platforms with behind-the-scenes access to interactive content, produce high-quality content that showcases driver and team personalities, target younger fans through partnership with schools and youth organizations, create opportunities for fans to interact with drivers, attend autograph sessions, and participate in fan festivals. Simplify the rules, terminology, and scoring system. Embrace diversity and inclusion by showcasing drivers from various backgrounds, cultures, and identities. Collaborate with other sports leagues, brands, and entertainment properties to cross-promote and reach new audiences. Build audiences in local communities by hosting races, fan events, and charity initiatives. They seem obvious, right? But several aren't being tried, to my knowledge. All don't need to be on Roger Penske's plate. The teams and drivers should be doing some of this expansion themselves. And several sound like Monster Jam promotions, which Kenny Sargent suggested last week. No deep pockets need apply. Peace.
Your Stat Man Scat brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com and check out a line of products to keep your rides on the road fat and happy. Specifically, what about Lucas Oil Penetrating Oil? The truly superior penetrant designed to dissolve corrosion and rust without drying. That's Lucas Oil Penetrating Oil, Freak Nation. Excellent protection against water, even salt water, fortified with anti-seize agents, and, of course, low odor with your Lucas Oil Penetrating Oil. Kyle Larson, part of the closest finish ever in NASCAR in Kansas Sunday night. You saw it. Kyle Larson caught up with the media shortly thereafter the race, talking about, man, he had no clue that he'd won.
That's what happened. And yeah, I got start finish line, had no clue if I won or not. Really didn't, I mean, I guess I cared, but really didn't honestly care because I was just like, man, that was freaking awesome. And then I think I asked if I had won or not, if I got him, and you said timing and scoring showed the 17. So I was like, you know, cool. And then my spotter was going crazy shortly after that. So yeah, just incredible. But really just a great race from, you know, the green flag to the checkered flag. It was awesome.
And we talked about this last hour with Kyle Larson being a racer's racer. This is a race. When a driver wins a race like this, where there's a lot of bumping and banging going on and such a close finish, you know damn well these guys are going to remember this race.
I mean, I'll always remember it for sure. I mean, I think there's definitely wins that, you know, you can kind of get lost in the distance a little bit. But, I mean, when you finish and have the closest to this point finish in Cup Series history, I don't think you're ever going to forget about it, even if it gets broken, you know, someday. So, yeah, just great to be on this side of it. I probably would still remember it, though, if I ran second.
And last for Kyle Larson after he won Kansas Sunday night, talking about that green-white checkered.
You know, I was hoping I could get next to Buescher down the backstretch, but he had a good run off of 2. I tucked in the hole that was there, hoping that, you know, Chase could get a run to push me, you know, to get a run to, you know, get next to him before we got to 3, but that didn't happen. Made kind of a, you know, bad misjudgment, you know, when you're going hard and peeled off to the bottom of 3, and yeah, that was wrong, and then had to chase up, find some clean air, and thought I was done from that. You know, we came to the white, and I figured, well, I'll just try and run up the racetrack here 1 and 2, maybe build a run, and my run was better than I was expecting, and he got kind of looking in the mirror, and he entered a little bit lower into 3, and I was able to have that momentum with some clean air to get to his right side, and I got pretty loose there in the center of 3 and 4 next to him, just kind of in an awkward aero spot there, and figured I would smash the wall off of 4, but somehow it gripped up really good, and then we touched a little bit, I think, off of 4. I noticed that he was going to have the run back, so I hung a left and just tried to kill his momentum. I've seen so many times in NASCAR where if the guy's got to run, you can just door him, and it kind of stops it. And
you like that stat?
Yeah, I just sort of turned left and tried to stop his momentum. Yeah, right.
That's Durham.
That's a pure Kyle Larson soundbite.
Of that.
They should put, when he goes into the Hall of Fame, they should put that right there. I just made a habit of turning left so I could stop their momentum.
Hashtag just Durham.
Just Durham.
Suave, as we saw Sunday night, a little controversy arose from that finish, right, bud?
Yeah, go check out RFK Racing's Twitter feed. All they did was they posted a picture of the start-finish line, and from this picture, you could tell that the start-finish line wasn't 100% straight, particularly
the camera.
Yeah, well,
right?
Just the actual painted start-finish line was not straight. Yes. And so it was some controversy. The part that Christopher Buescher passed was the one that was painted a little bit further beyond where Kyle Larson passed. However, everything was cleared up. The photo finish was put out there by NASCAR. There is no controversy. Going to Jeff Gluck, the actual end of the race, the start-finish line. Hey, there's the picture right there. If you're watching us on MAV TV, the official photo finish picture. It's a little tiny bit before the painted start finish line. And that's what we're seeing in this official photo finish from NASCAR, that the camera's pointed take, and it's all the same. And so there is no controversy. RFK just wanted to start a little crap, I think. Get a little people talking.
So
Good
you're
job.
saying that a painter is not official?
The paint is not official. Correct.
Okay,
That's
the
what we
dude
learned.
that just swiped the brush, he's not the official end all be all marker man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Just Durham.
Just Durham.
That's
that works.
You know what? We need to start using that frequently, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm trying to coach my daughter on how to get more aggressive out there on the field, soccer field, baby. Just Durham.
And that's more aggressive than yeet 'em. Just yeet 'em. That doesn't sound. Durham sounds a little more aggressive, you know.
Yeet
Right?
makes it back into the show.
Take your elbow and your forearm and just Durham.
That works in soccer.
Weren't you asking me, Crasher, Saturday morning during one of her tryouts about what do you call, trying to knock a player off?
Yeah, when you're like, because actually, this is funny. All I could think of was a NASCAR term, elbows up. But what is that in soccer? So yeah,
just Durham.
Aggression. Just Durham.
Love that.
T-shirt. Just Durham when they get in the way. Durham.
Freak Nation, John Force turned 75 years old over the weekend, and he's been in the Freak Nation so many times, we couldn't even put it in about a 5-hour video. However, here's a couple of minutes of highlights of John Force, the greatest drag racer of all time, if not the greatest personality in sports of all time here in the Freak Nation over the years.
Hi, my name is Wallace Jr.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, how you doing, sir?
Talk to John Force.
All right, how you doing, Mr. Force?
I don't know where you're at. I'm looking at all these cameras. This camera right here.
Okay.
Big time TV here.
The girl didn't show up to do the Wendy's, and the guy said it paid $75, and I said, I'll take the job. Brilliant. Little red curls there, and
is there a photo with that?
Little Wendy's dress, you bet.
Were you wearing any
And
pants?
hairy legs. Never popped any boys out to water in Yorba Linda. Now the women do give labor, and they do a lot of work. And look what they end up with, something like you and me. Oh, I don't swear around my children.
I don't believe that one.
If you don't say something nice about me, this boot, you're going to be wearing it. You hear the joke about, do you know why the girls in San Francisco quit wearing skirts? Can't tell you.
What if NHRA fined you money for that?
They already wrote me the check.
You know what I got? I got a tombstone coming. You know what it's going to say on it? I told my wife, and she's still mad about it. I said, you write on my tombstone, it ain't over till I say it's over. I sold 2 of them. Okay, I got to ask. Somewhere at a racetrack, you told me you two got married. Not you and Stat, you and that beautiful girl. Did that happen?
It did.
John, when we got married, you were 60 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, I brought you something from Texas here.
How's that limp going? Your legs doing okay?
The whole body ain't doing okay. I'm going on 100. I already told you that. The reason I'm able to keep them so long is I baptize them. I forgot the word.
Ashley teaches at the Catholic church, and her kids all go to the church, and I go there, and we all do. And I'm Lutheran. I shouldn't.
Oh, Stat Man, I could go on and on, but let's do it, man. Shoot the juice to the moose and Stat Man.
Cut it loose.
See you, Freak Nation.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.